All right, welcome back. We've got a early midweek. It's Monday. Stock market update. This is an emergency update because we've got some big shakeouts happening right now in the stock market. So the Nasdaq down over 3%. You've got the S&P down over 1.5%. Russell down 1%. So there's red across the board, but it's some of these individual names that are getting destroyed. So you've got the SMH is down 10%, huge drop. You've got Nvidia with, I believe this will be the largest stock drop in market cap ever. So Nvidia down 17%, which we'll see what it is at the end of the day. I know it's over 200 billion bucks. So this is one of the biggest moves in the stock market history. You've got another great company, Broadcom, down 17%, Taiwan Semi down 14%, AMD down 6%, and then a ton of other semiconductor names. ASML down 6.5%. Earlier this morning, you did have Amazon was down 8%. Wish I was up 6%. I think Amazon was down. Wish I was awake for that. That was in the pre-market. Let's see here. Tesla down 3%. Google down 4.5%. SoFi down 10%. SoFi had earnings. Coinbase down 8%. Palantir down 6%. I can go on and on. Apple up 4%. Makes sense of that. So Microsoft down 2%. Just blood all over the streets here. And this is due to fears that the United States is falling behind in the AI race to China. Over the weekend, a lot of rumors speculating about a Chinese large language model called DeepSeek. Now this, a lot of speculation around this company. It's always hard to get the real story about what's going on in China for good and for bad. There's a lot of great Chinese companies. There's a lot of great engineers over there, but it's just hard to invest and it's hard to get the legitimate story. It's hard to know what to believe, what's coming out of there. So I'm going to lay out the story and we will determine in a few weeks what is fact and what is not. So DeepSeek, large language model, it took them about 2 months to develop in China, and supposedly they only spent a fraction, about 80 million to 8 million. I hear different numbers, but it's a small amount that they've spent to develop this large language model, and supposedly it's better than ChatGPT and some of these other language models that are out there. Now, the big deal that they're claiming is that they are using a fraction of the GPUs compared to some of these other models. So supposedly they're using only 4 or 5% of the GPU power that some of these other models take. So they have found some magic way to create a large language model for a fraction of the cost, and they use a fraction of the GPU. So that's what's causing these big drops in the semiconductors, because maybe there's a potential for these other companies to do the same down the road. Now, it's just hard to believe if they really did it with the amount of money and GPUs that they're stating. I've been searching Twitter all morning. I've been doing a lot of research here. It just sounds to me too good to be true. That's why you're seeing these semis just get destroyed, because the future growth rate of these companies potentially could be less than what is expected. Now, these are still phenomenal businesses that are going to make, continue to make essential products for AI and just anything technology related. So we're still going to need NVIDIA chips. We're still going to need Taiwan Semi and these other fabs. They're not going anywhere. But will NVIDIA continue to grow at 30% year over year? Maybe not. Maybe that drops down to 20%. Maybe that drops down to 5% or negative. We don't know. So that is the bear case, and the reason for these big drops in the market is the market is totally repricing the future growth of some of these companies. And so there's just uncertainty. Now, a lot of things with this that I said is fishy. Skimming through Twitter, I saw Zuck, Microsoft, Satya Nadella, Elon, and a few other people say seems highly, highly unlikely. It's possible that what DeepSeek is saying is true. It just seems very unlikely. The probability is very low. Now, could it be true? Maybe. DeepSeek was the #1 free app on the App Store over the weekend, and just so happened this morning they restricted users to everyone except for China. So that's another, to me, that's fishy. Now maybe they have good reasoning to do so, but it just sounds fishy. They come out and say we've got the best thing ever since sliced bread, and we're doing it like it's alien technology. Oh, by the way, now no one can use it anymore except for if you're in China. It's like, well, that's great. So the other piece here is the United States has been restricting the amount of NVIDIA H100s that can go to China. That's been these last couple of years. We've talked about it briefly on this channel. It seemed like every month there was a new mandate from the Biden administration. Hey, NVIDIA, stop sending China these chips. We're going to restrict the amount of H100s that you can send to them. So also, and I heard this last Friday, there was a Chinese engineer came out and said, hey, DeepSeek has around 50,000 H100s. They're claiming to have a fraction of that, but they can't say they have these chips because they're technically illegal for them to have, because the United States is restricting them from getting them. So that's another piece of this puzzle. Are they saying that they're doing this with a lot less GPUs because they're not supposed to have these GPUs? I don't know. There's just a lot of smoke. There's a lot of red flags that pop up here. And I think this is a big market overreaction. But there has been no buying stepping in on these semiconductors, which is not what you want to see. Typically an overreaction, people get the news and they think for themselves, and later on in the day they buy it up. We haven't seen that yet. The market's about to close in 20 minutes. So we will see what the rest of the week brings. Could be just a big repricing in the AI trade. And this was the news catalyst to start that trend. But we will have to wait and see. Real quick, I have a Twitter post pulled up, which I thought was interesting. So DeepSeek's valuation is $50 million. The market cap wiped out in the U.S. stock market is over $2 trillion so far today. So the market cap that was also wiped out in the crypto markets around $300 billion. So an app that is $150 million valuation wiped out $2.3 trillion in the crypto and stock market today. To me, that's a huge overreaction, but only time will tell. So I know it's only Monday. There'll be plenty of other videos coming out this week because we've got the Federal Reserve meeting this week. We've got a lot of earnings this week. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is, if this is true with the DeepSeek and their revolutionary utilization of GPUs, it is going to be a hit for the semiconductors. It's going to be a hit to their growth rate, so there will be some repricing that needs to be done on the valuation of these stocks. But I think this could be a big shot in the arm for some of these, the Googles, the Teslas, the Amazons, the companies that were buying the chips. Now they're going to be more efficient. If this is true, there's a new efficiency route out there. So these companies will be able to do a lot more without having to spend the billions and billions of dollars for these chips. We'll have to wait and see. We just talked about on Friday how there's the Stargate project where the government's ready to help put together a $500 billion plan to build out data centers and energy for AI. That just all of a sudden go away? Is that totally going to be scrapped because of a Chinese language model? I'm not buying it. So I think this is a knee-jerk reaction, but we will have to wait and see some more data to come out. So that is my initial thoughts here. I'm sure I'll have different thoughts as we go on through the week and get more information, but that's all I got for you guys for today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you Wednesday. Peace out.